This is a tutorial about DXO PHOTOLAB 6, a very fantastic French software. Now, if you want this software right now, you can go down into description below and click on the link that will take you directly to the website of DXO. Download a trial, and I recommend you to install it first and then follow this video. And if you haven't done it, do it now. If you have done it already, you can just watch the whole video, which will permit you to give some ideas about how the software works without any complicated vocabulary, without any complicated task. And basically, I'm trying to simplify many terms in my own way, like I'm talking to a 15 years old, so that you don't have to think too much about the technical part and just simply edit a photo in DXO PHOTOLAB 6. Now let's jump into it. You are looking at the interface. This is the interface looks like. Pretty simple. You have exact same button like you would have seen in any other software in the world. I personally would like to go to Preference, and then I would, simply just check if everything is looking all right. Change your language based on your personal language. I prefer to keep it in English. And for the raw and RGB images, neutral color so that you have a base without any manipulation. Then display, don't try to take too much time on that. Metadata, nothing. Performance, however, based on your graphics card, I checked my NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050, pretty old graphics card, but useful for this case. And then I manually selected a cache folder. I highly recommend you to do that because it will help you to, upgrade your performance of the software. Now, once it's done, you have the photo library. Now, imagine you took photo, you have those photos in the folder. In my case, I'm going to click on tutorial folder where I kept all my images. Here you go. And immediately, DXO will let you download the modules of the optics. So I have photos from two cameras, one from 70D with 17 to 40 mm f4L. I also have Olympus OMD EM5. I'm going to move the cursor with the Zuiko 12 to 15 mm module. So I'm going to check both and then click next. What's going to happen, DXO will download both of the information and it will apply all this correction automatically to the lenses, which is fantastic. So it will apply the best correction available. Now you can see that you have a little bit of vignette. That's fine. We're going to fix it later on. Now this is the photo library looks like. You have all the images. I'm going to go through quickly. Now let's start with an image that I would like to edit, right? In this case, I would select this one. And that's the Panasonic beach camera. Very cheap camera, but I personally am a big fan of this image. Just simple. Now, once it's done, I don't waste my time. I'm going to go straight to the customize where I can edit. However, you have the top button where you can compare, side-by-side compare. You have the full screen mode. You can get back from the full screen mode with escape. You have one-on-one zoom. I'd like to go back to original look. Then on your right hand side, you have all the histogram data. You have the metadata, necessary information that you need, shutter speed, ISO, etc. Then you can directly apply preset if you like to. You know what I mean? It's already selected on neutral color. Maybe if I were you, I would select DXO optical correction only. What happens is going to apply the optical correction as a start. Now I would start my editing. Right. In the editing, you click customize to go to the editing section. Now on the left hand side, you have all the metadata, to win some more space, I would close it. I would get back to it when it's necessary. No, not right now. Now, on the top, we have all the information available, all the editing tools. Most importantly, you have the crop tool, you have the white balance color picker, you have the horizon fixer, you have the force parallel. This is basically all the tools to fix your horizontal or vertical positions. And sometimes it will help you to fix the buildings for the architectural photos. I will show you later. Then you have the local adjustment, obviously, and the famous viewpoint. I would personally start chronologically. I would first take a look at the histogram. Histogram is on the top. Histogram is personally looking good, but it's missing contrast and a little bit of exposition. In that case, I would click DXO Smart Lighting. Now, DXO Smart Lighting, what it does, you can see that it extends the dynamic range of your images by rebalancing the underexposed and overexposed areas quickly and accurately. Let's see what it does. I will click it, and that's without it. That's with it, without, and with. Pretty alright in my opinion. However, you can change the intensity of it as much as you like. You have the preset, slide, medium, strong, or custom. I would go for slide. Then you have the spot weighted. Then you can put the spot weight, let's say in this area, and you'll use this area to expose the whole image. I would go for the uniform part. Now, that's done. Now I'm going to turn it off because I would like to show you what each button does. So you've learned about the DXO Smart Lighting. Selective tone, obviously. We can just do basic changes, highlights, midtone, shadows, and black. We all know that, so I'm not going to invest too much time on that. However, the DXO Clearview Plus automatically enhances the vibrancy of your images by reducing the atmospheric haze and boosting contrast without increasing edge halos. Aha! That's a perfect candidate. For example, you have a little bit of haze because it's cloudy at the background. It's a little bit flat in my opinion. So I would like to add some more contrast, add some more vibrancy, and reduce some haze. Look at that. Pretty awesome. It does a very good job. I'm going to go to the full screen to show you exactly what it does. That's the best button in the world. So that's before, that's after. You know what? I'm going to keep this so that you can see the changes side by side. Right. What I did right now, you can go to the compare section, and the left hand side, it will be the image without any correction, and the left hand side, again, I apologize, right hand side, it will be one with correction. So I'm going to turn it off and then turn it on, and this is what it does. The DXO Clearview Plus. Now, we all know about the contrast. Macro contrast is a very common thing to use in any kind of editing software. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the Clearview and the Smart Lighting, and you kind of have a result right there. Vignetting. So if you turn off the vignetting button, what it does, it will not add any kind of vignette. But if you turn it on, it will correct all the vignetting around the edges. Pay a very good attention to the edge. And then I'm going to turn it off and on. You can see the change. It's just automatic. You can reduce the intensity. I would keep it to, let's say, around 30 to 50 to be safe. Now, that's the area with the basic exposure and contrast correction. It looks pretty alright to me. Now, we're going to the color. In the color, you have the working color space. Now, what is the DXO said? DXO said that DXO wide gamut color space is their color processing algorithm have been rewritten from the group up to the harness to full potential of modern monitors and printers, allowing you to edit your images at the large color space. So essentially, it will give you more information with that DXO wide gamut. However, if you go back to the color legacy, that's the legacy that, generally I say acceptable for any kind of machine you have, any software, any smartphone, any kind of screen. Let's stick to the DXO white gamut. Then we're going to change the white balance. In the white balance, we are going to pick up the color, pick on the sky, because that's the most neutral in my opinion, and it's done. Now I'm going to click side by side, change again. So you can see the before and after side by side, and you can see the process of change. Color accuracy, in my opinion, I'm not a big color guy. I like how it looks already, in my opinion, but just out of curiosity, I can adjust the vibration, just a touch, not too much. Now, color rendering, that's interesting. What it does, actually, it will give you the color rendering of different color profile. So you have the DXO camera profile, you have the neutral color. I would stay with the neutral color, maybe reduce the intensity just a little bit, not too much. Now, if you had DXO film pack, you would be able to use DXO film pack film profiles directly in the images. But personally, I am not a big fan of preset or look. I would like to create my own look based on my own taste. Now, style or toning. That is a famous split toning, just to change it in black and white. This image is a very good candidate of a fantastic black and white image. However, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave it to color. And even though simple toning is available for black and white, you can also change it to sepia if you want. Or you can go to split toning if you like to. But I'm going to go to black and white. And I was going to change it to split toning, but when I click it there, it says split toning is only available in DXO Film Pack Elite. So that's a shame. However, I don't personally care. I'm going to turn it off anyway. Now, one of the most famous tool of DXO Film Pack is the HSL tool now, which is available separately. Simply what it does. It's a color wheel. A color wheel with what you can change or modify any area of the any color of the area. That's what I mean to say. What does it mean? Let's say, put simply, you have blue in this area. You want to change it to any other color than blue, you can do that. I'm going to select the dropper, drop it on the blue. Now, I want to change it to something completely different. So all the blue area has changed to green. How about yellow? I can change it to yellow. Now it gives you the look of, how I say, I was looking for the word, Mad Max, the cinema. Let's go for the red. I'm guessing it's going to be more intense. Or purple. Or back to blue again. So you get the idea. So I'm going to refresh. Just for fun, I'm going to select the dropper again. Select on the ground. And this is going to be interesting. I'm going to change it to something completely other than this. Other than red. You know what? I like the purple better. It gives you an interesting look. All right, we're gonna keep it just for fun. Now, soft proofing. It's important for printing purpose. I'm not going to print it. I hope that you don't print that much. You're going to use it for your social media. So we're not going to invest too much time on soft proofing, but I recommend you to read it more when you need to print your image. Now we're going to the detail section. You're going to go up. Now, welcome to the famous DXO denoising technologies, where you have the D prime and the D prime XD. Essentially, it's one of the best denoising tool in the modern digital photography, along with Topaz or On1 or Luminar. Some prefer one, some prefer another. Each of them have their own reason. I'm not going to use D prime or D prime XD only because the image is taken with 100 ISO. And it's a daylight image. It does have some grain, you can see it. However, I don't see any reason to use denoise. You know what, just for fun, I'm going to use D prime XD. Now pay attention to this little screen. And it takes about 30 seconds, I believe. And it perfectly reduces a lot of luminance noise from the image. I'm going to go back to high quality. I'm just happy with that, and increase the luminance denoising. Lens sharpness, I'm going to click side by side. Now the lens sharpening, I'm going to go to 100%, right? And turn off lens sharpening and turn on lens sharpening. To be more clear, temporarily, I'm going to turn off HSL so that you can exactly see what is going on. And then I'm going to again turn off lens sharpening. Pay attention, take a few seconds, and I'm going to turn on lens sharpening. It's not the traditional sharpening, it's the sharpening that calibrated by DXO. So I highly recommend you to use that in every single photos of yours. It also fixes your chromatic aberration, which is fantastic in my opinion. I would like to click purple fringing because I think somewhere here I do have a little bit of purple fringing somewhere. Okay? That's fantastic. Now retouch. It's the famous, replacing tool. If you have any kind of things to repair or copy and paste, you can see that in the example, this bird, you can put it somewhere here, and you can duplicate any object. We don't need it. It's not necessary for this purpose. So I'm going to not use it for this video. But you have this option. Then you have the moire and red eye. Again, I think I don't need it for the time being because I don't have any kind of moire in this image. Now, you have the geometric. So for that, I have to get back to original size, go back to my color, turn on my HSL change. In the horizontal change geometry, I'm going to check if everything is looking good. Turn on my horizon, see what kind of change it does. It does nothing in my opinion. It's alright. It has a minor change in my opinion, but nothing huge. However, because of the character of this image, I would like to crop it to almost 1:1. So aspect ratio, I'm going to do 1:1. What it does is going to crop it in aspect ratio like that without wasting too much of your images. That being said, I'm going to click manual and see what it gives me. In the manual section, I'm going to just move it till there. Maybe a little bit on the left. And I will turn it on. Compare side by side. And there you go. After that, you have the perspective. In my opinion, I don't need any perspective change because it's not a geometrical architectural image. We're going to save this part for another editing. After that, we have the local adjustment. Now, in the local adjustment, you can either go to the section or you can just directly click local adjustment right there, and it will show you exactly how to use it. Right click to select any mask tool. Let it try now and leave this screen. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to right clicking it and it's showing me what to do. I'm going to turn on the control point because it's my favorite. I'm going to click it there, pull it up just a little bit. However, I want to see exactly where my change is going to impact exactly. Now let's hide the side area. Now, however, again, as I said, I want to see where I'm using my mask, right? Because you cannot just guess it. So I'm going to right click on this link, click the question, and here you can see everything. In order to see the mask, you can use M. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to click M. Aha, there you go. You can actually see where you are using your mask. Right. For example, if you select the tree, it will only select obviously the tree. However, something also similar to that zone. For example, in tree color, you have this dark area. So it will select all the darkest zone. I'm going to show you again. And beam. You can see it selected the tree. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, of course, select M again and manipulate the changes potentially with the brightness. I'm going to brighten the shadow area. However, raise the contrast, followed by add some micro contrast. So, you can do all kind of changes with just that area. Now, I want to do exact same thing on the sky though. You know what I mean? So I'm going to reduce that a little bit. Right click on the blue area. Again, select M to see the changes. So right click again. Select U-turn, click it, and now I have selected the sky. I'm going to push it a little bit towards in the middle, reduce a little bit, select M again to do some change. So what I've done, I actually deleted everything and starting from the beginning to show you exactly how it works. So let's start again. I'm going to select local adjustment. Right click on wherever you want to use the local adjustment. Wait, it takes a little bit of time. So right click, U-turn, then click it there. So you have created a control point. Do your adjustment. Let's say I'm going to expose a little bit more, add some contrast, add some micro contrast, reduce some saturation. Why not? Wait, that's not that. That's the tint. I was going for the saturation. Aha, that's the one. Once again, I will select another local adjustment. So I will turn this on off. Another tool, another local adjustment. This time I'm going to change the name to sky. Now I'm going to reduce the luminosity of the sky. Raise a little bit more, add a little bit of saturation, change a little bit of tint, just a little bit. There you go. And I'll do exact same. I'm going to duplicate that, duplicate mask, and move it somewhere over here. Reduce the size of it. And in this one though, I am going to dehaze if it's available though. I'm not sure. Sharpness, blur. Normally it should be available somewhere. Clear view, that's the one. So I'm going to add some clear view in this area. You know what? I think we are done. You don't need to invest too much time in this thing. Now we're going to go back to the first slide. I'm going to click full screen. It's going to take some time. I'm going to select side by side. So before and after. So that's before, that's after, before and after. Okay, that's a creative change. I'm going to show you without the creative change. So I'm going to go to the color, turn off my HSL look, click full screen again, wait for this to load and do side by side before and after, before and after. You know, pretty easy to use, no stress, nothing. And most importantly, you can then select on the image if you like and export to disk if you like to. You can create the preset that you just used as you like. In this case, I'm simply going to export to the disk, JPEG quality 100%, and change it to desktop because I'm going to create my thumbnail for this video, and social media, tutorial, select folder. See if everything is looking all right. Normally I don't change much. And then export. Voila! That's how you would use DXO PHOTOLAB. Pretty simple to use, nothing headache to begin with. You can dig deep more and more and more. In my opinion, I wouldn't spend too much time. This software is already fantastic for HSL tool. It's already excellent for its optic correction and denoiser. For that alone, this software is just phenomenal. And of course, not to mention U-turn technology for the local adjustment and perspective geometric corrections. That's all for today. Hope you like it. If so, buy this software from the link in the description below. That's all from me. Bye bye for now.